Hello everybody, Jake, your resident content cowboy here. Yeehaw and a happy Halloween to you. Today I'm going to be bringing you more Pokemon that we want to see in Pokemon Unite. Take that, horsehead. I'd love to say that I was a Galarian Rapidash, but I am of course a unicorn. So today I'm going to go over the 5 Pokemon that should be added to Pokemon Unite. These are from the Wishes and Theories section inside of our Discord. Head on over there and check it out. Let's take a look at these Pokemon. A few might be pretty spooky for Halloween. Given how close it is to my outfit already, I think it's reasonable to start with Galarian Rapidash. Hi, Galarian Rapidash. This is concept created by Pika Master and Kea. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong. The basic attack becomes boosted at every third attack and has a chance to implicate the opponent, or incapacitate for a short. Implicate? What am I talking about? Are they going to trial? Oh, I hope this Pokemon's whole kit is based on getting someone convicted. Let's see. Ability, Pastel Veil. When hit by a poison attack, its special attack is increased for a short time. Interesting mon, but it feels like this is easily sort of an ability that doesn't trigger. I wonder if that would change for the sake of this game to many different types of status condition, you know? Dashing Stunning Gleam deals damage to opposing Pokemon in the area of effect, making the user invincible for a short period of time. Boosts special attack by 4. So that is its Unite move, Dashing Stunning Gleam. It starts with Confusion, which upgrades at level 4, and then Fairy Wind, which upgrades at level 6. I'm guessing I'm guessing that it becomes Galarian Rapidash at level 6, I would guess. It starts out as Galarian Ponyta. So, by the way, I don't know if I've said this before. This is like my favorite fairy type Pokemon. I think this is just one of the coolest designs for a Pokemon in a long time. I really love this mon. So let's see. Locks on 3 floating orbs, dealing damage to the opponent and leaving it unable to move at the same time. Okay, very cool. And then it can become either Psybeam or Heal Pulse. Psybeam deals damage to the Pokemon in the move's Ranger. Leaves the opposing Pokemon hit unable to move for a short time. So seems like kind of an upgrade to Confusion here. Confusion, by the way, is a sure hit. I don't know if you noticed that. I just did. So it's a sure hit. This is an attacker, by the way, a ranged attacker, which is interesting because it has Heal Pulse as an ability. Heals the user equal to 18% of its max health, which is a very odd move for an attacker to have. Fairy Wind, its level 6 ability. Its ability that upgrades at level 6. Jake, get it together, buddy. It's the costume. It's the costume. I can't read with a costume on. Slows the movement speed of opposing Pokemon when it hits. Okay, so it's just a hindrance ability there. And it can upgrade to either Dazzling Gleam or Psycho Cut. Dazzling Gleam deals damage to opponents in the area of effect and makes them unable to move at the same time. So very, very similar to Ninetales Dazzling Gleam. And then Psycho Cut, it's a melee/dash. When opponent gets hit, the user gets to dash to the opponent and the next 3 basic attacks will have increased damage. This is a really cool Pokemon that I would love to see in the game. Not only just because of its design, but also because of so many different things you could do with it. I think this is a really exciting mon. I'd love to see something more, I guess, universal happen with its ability. And then, of course, your brain starts to go wild with thinking of what Dashing Stunning Gleam would be like. It could be really, really important, obviously. It says it deals damage to the opposing Pokemon in the area of effect, making the user invincible, which is really, really cool. But also, it's called Dashing Stunning Gleam. So I'm guessing there would be a stun added to it as well. Really cool mon. Galarian Rapidash. I would love to see it in the game. Our next Pokemon, this is one that I felt like really could make it into the game around Halloween, but we didn't get to see it yet, and that is Trevenant. Trevenant is an all-rounder, a melee all-rounder, which we desperately need inside the game. More all-rounders. Where are they? Its basic attack, every 3 attacks causes a boosted. When the boosted attack connects, it applies 1 stack of Cursed. Harvest. Berries consumed by Trevenant respawn faster. So that is its ability, And I'm wondering, well, it wouldn't obviously apply to Greedent, but that's so interesting. I wonder if this is the kind of Pokemon that could be in lane all by itself. We'll talk about its moves next here. We have Curse, and it upgrades at level 7. It's a hindrance. Trevenant releases a blast in front of it, dealing damage, reducing movement speed, and applying a stack of Cursed to anything hit. Cursed stacks up to 5 times, each stack dealing 0.5% of its maximum health per second. Upon reaching 5 stacks, it will explode in a small area, dealing damage and dealing 5% of max health per second for 3 seconds. Stacks are shown above the target. Oh, I love DOT effects, damage over time in games like this. I just think you trick so many people into overextending and they don't realize how low their health is with damage over time. I just love it so much. That upgrades to either Forest's Curse or Will-O-Wisp. So Forest Curse, Trevenant releases a larger blast in front of it, dealing damage, reducing move speed, and applying 2 stacks of Curse. That is definitely what I would play. Will-O-Wisp is a debuff, fires a ghostly flame that explodes, dealing damage, applying a stack of Curse, maybe not then, and reducing the affected Pokemon's attack and special attack. Oh boy, these are both really good. Now I'm not sure which one I would take. I guess it depends on the enemy team, right? If I'm really worried about their damage output, I think Will-O-Wisp would be better. But if not, I think Forest's Curse would be better. And then Branch Poke upgrades at level 4, which is also when Trevenant evolves. Branch Poke, Trevenant dashes forward and pokes with a branch, dealing damage, and applies 1 stack of Curse. I love this Pokemon so much. I'm not kidding. I love designs like this. I love DOT effects. They're so good. Okay. At level 4, when it evolves, it also upgrades from Branch Poke to either Shadow Claw or Horn Leech. Shadow Claw, Trevenant dashes forward with its claws, dealing damage and applying 2 stacks of Cursed. Shadow Claw can also crit. When Shadow Claw crits, it automatically triggers the Cursed explosion. Interesting. Horn Leech, dash recovery. Trevenant dashes forward, shoving enemies and regenerating health for every enemy hit and applying 1 stack of Curse. Ooh. These are both good, depending on the amount of damage, but I think I'm a Horn Leech boy. I've always said I'm a Horn Leech boy. By the way, did I say this concept is by DSX? I know we can see that there, but I should mention that. Thank you, DSX. The Unite move, Forest's Wrath. Upon using its Unite, it fires a blast at a location which explodes, dealing large damage and applying 4 stacks of Cursed. This is like a bit of a dream Pokemon for me. I love characters like this in MOBAs. I just think they're so fun. And again, I think people always underestimate or overestimate how much health they have and underestimate how much damage over time is going to be done to them. So I really like mons like this. Thank you very much for that submission. Our next Pokemon, Darkrai. Darkrai is a very cool one. This comes from Kama. Darkrai, an all-rounder, special attack, range, so a very different all-rounder than we're used to. Ability, Nightmare. Inflicts damage to the opponent's sleeping Pokemon near Darkrai and increases his own movement speed near them. Paired with a Wigglytuff or a Yawn Snorlax, this is just like one of those Pokemon where you're like, oh my god, this is going to be so fun in a combo. Basic attack. Attacks the enemy with black sludge like Dark Wave. Every third attack will be a boosted attack, which deals increased damage and slightly lowers the opponent's move speed for a short time. If the opponent's Pokemon is asleep, the boosted attack deals slightly more damage. Its 2 abilities. Level 1, Hypnosis. The user shoots hoop-like rings towards the opponent, which makes them fall asleep for a short time. This also increases the user's attack speed for a short time, cooldown of 5 seconds. Knockoff at level 3. The user hits the opponent with a Dark Wave Push, dealing damage to them and disabling the use of their battle item for a short time. That's a fun way to use this move in this game. Level 6. Move 1, Dark Pulse. Has the user hurl pulses of dark slashes towards the enemy, dealing damage to opposing Pokemon in an arc area. Throwing enemy Pokemon. This increases the user's movement speed for a short time. Or Dark Pulse Plus at level 12. If it hits multiple Pokemon, the cooldown of Nasty Plot / Dream Eater is reduced. Okay, so it combos pretty well with its other move here. Move 2, Dark Void. Has the user open up a void space on the ground, and the opponent's Pokemon that are caught within the void are put to sleep for a short time, same duration as Wigglytuff's Sing. After waking up, their movement speed is slightly decreased for a short time. Dark Void Plus at level 12. The area of Dark Void increases, and and the Pokemon who stand in this area take slightly more damage by Darkrai's moves. Interesting. Okay, and then at level 8, move 1, Nasty Plot. Has the user concentrate energy in their mind, raising their special attack and movement speed for a short time, same duration as Sylveon's Calm Mind. Okay. At level 14, it gets increased to decrease the opponent's special defense. Interesting. How would you do that? I guess it would be around you, right? Or is it just... Because the other one increases your special attack, so I'm wondering what's that's based on, like a radius or just anyone you hit? Move 2, Dream Eater. The user hurls a shadowy clone of themselves at the opponent, thought it said cone for a second, dealing damage to them. If the user is asleep, the damage dealt is increased and Darkrai regains some HP. Very cool. At level 14, the increase, one of the enemies hit by Dream Eater have their cooldown slightly increased. Oh, only if their moves are on cooldown. That's really interesting, and it would be so frustrating to get hit with something like that. Unite move at level 9, Infinite Void, has the user create a large orb of sickening darkness by raising both their hands in the air. The user then throws the orb in the designated location, dealing damage to enemies in an area of damage. If the opposing Pokemon were asleep while this move was used, they take increased damage, and the charge time of their Unite move slows down. What? This is really cool. It's really cool to see things like that are not in the game yet, and people are just like trying to theorize what would happen if you had a Pokemon that made it where you couldn't use battle items, or you had a Pokemon make it where your Unite moves charge slower. This is a really, really cool idea. I think that's very fun. Thank you very much, Kama, for this idea. Again, all of these in the wishes and theories section over on the Discord. Our next Mon is Delmise. Delmise is such a cool Pokemon, and I could easily see it making its way into this game. It's one of those ones when I first encountered it, I thought, wow, what an awesome design. It's weird grass ghost Pokemon. It is a support ranged Pokemon. Every third basic attack on the same enemy heals Delmise. That's an interesting way to do that. It has to be on the same enemy. Its ability, Steelworker. Hitting an enemy with an ability or 3 autos marks the enemy for 5 seconds. If Delmise hits a marked enemy, they take an additional burst of damage, and Delmise heals. Interesting. Okay, cool. Grass Knot, its first move, upgrades at level 4. Whips out a vine that knocks back the enemy. It can upgrade to either Anchor Shot or Power Whip. Anchor Shot fires a hook in a direction. If it hits an enemy, they're pulled. Every game has this, by the way. I feel like every game has a hook. Every game needs a hook. Every game has someone with a hook. You always need a hook. If it hits an enemy, they're pulled to Delmise where they receive damage and are briefly knocked up. Very cool. Power Whip fires a powerful vine that grabs the first enemy it hits. Delmise can drag the enemy for a short time or recast to pull itself to the enemy where it will be briefly stunned and damage them. Oh man, both of these feel like such fun options. Okay, its next move, Absorb, deals damage over 2 seconds in an area around Delmise and heals based off the damage. This upgrades at level 6 to either Heavy Slam or Brine. Heavy Slam, Delmise charges up to 3 seconds, then slams his hook in a target location, dealing damage and knocking up enemies. The damage and duration of the knockup are increased by the charging time. Delmise cannot move during charging. I love this. Brine creates a large area of seawater in the target location. Enemies inside the area are slowed and are blinded. Allies and Delmise receive boosted speed and are healed over the duration. Delmise deals increased damage inside of Brine. And now we have Abyssal Chains as its Unite move. Delmise lashes out around itself and hooks all enemies in the area. Delmise then is able to blink to a target location, dragging all hooked enemies with it. This just reminds me of Ares from Smite. What is the guy from League? I'm blanking on his name. It's like Nautilus or something like that. Dragging all hooked enemies with it. Upon arriving, the enemies are pulled into Delmise and briefly knocked up. This Pokemon is so freaking good. It feels kind of like a defender almost, but I actually, with how this game uses ranged Pokemon, support Pokemon, this actually makes total sense. Gosh, I would love to play this Mon. This is by Aether and Ghostly. Thank you very much for this. This is so cool. It feels like it works off concepts that I've seen in MOBAs before it's very, very logical to see in a game like this. This would be so great. Thank you very much. And finally, it's Halloween. and we got a sneak at this Pokemon. So I thought we had to talk about Decidueye. I believe Decidueye is coming to the game very soon. I'm not sure how soon, but without question, they're working on this Pokemon. We found it in the data mine. We also know that it's like hinted on that what was it, kind of promotional screen for this event. There's no way it's by accident that Rowlet carved into the pumpkin. This Pokemon is coming. I'm just not sure when. They have it as a ranged attacker. This is from Aria. Basic attack becomes a boosted attack with every third attack, increasing the Pokemon's attack speed for a short time. During this time, the user is unable to trigger a boosted attack. Oh, interesting. So you kind of hit people a few times, then all of a sudden you have this attack speed that's boosted. That's very cool. Ability, long reach. While the Pokemon is healthy or taking cover in a bush, the range of its attacks are increased. Very cool. Very, very cool. I mean, that would set up some ridiculous plays on a coordinated team, because I guarantee you'd be able to pop it into bushes you don't expect and hit people where they don't expect it. It's almost like an artillery. Very cool. Leafage, first move, upgrades at level 5. The user flaps its wings to hurl a barrage of quills that damage opposing Pokemon in an area. All right. That upgrades to either Razor Leaf or Leaf Blade. Razor Leaf, range, knock a sharp quill and fire it, damaging the first opponent hit. Holding down the button for this move increases its range and damage. Upgrade. If the move strikes a hindered opponent, it does a critical hit and its cooldown is reduced. Guaranteed crit right there. Cool. Leaf Blade. Melee. I was like, wait a minute. The user performs a flurry of strikes that damage opposing Pokemon in a cone. The final strike displaces opponents away. Yeah, I guess it's like a push. Upgrade. The user's movement speed increases. Also resets the cooldown of Spirit, Shackle, and Phantom Force. Its ability that gets upgraded at level 8 starts out as Astonish. It's a hindrance. The Pokemon startles an opponent with a sharp growl, slowing them for a short time. And then it can upgrade to either Spirit Shackle or Phantom Force. Spirit Shackle is a hindrance, fires an arrow that pins the shadow of an opposing Pokemon, dealing damage and immobilizing them. Upgrade. The opponent's soul becomes vulnerable, reducing their speed, defense, and special defense for a short time. That's pretty huge. Phantom Force. The user causes a burst of shadow around itself to damage opposing Pokemon, then quickly disengages towards a chosen direction. Oh, so it hits and then you burst away. That's really interesting. Upgrade. After dealing damage, the user turns invisible and gains invulnerability for a short time. It has a 13-second cooldown, so it's kind of like Feint, except you're also dealing damage. That's pretty huge. Unite move, Sinister Barrage. A volley of countless sharp quills rain down over an area over 3 seconds. The first hit does low damage and slows opposing Pokemon. The second hit does normal damage, and the third hit immobilizes them. Very, very cool. I've seen a few concepts for Decidueye. I think this is a very, very fun one, and I also think we could see this Pokemon be an attacker. I've heard some people say speedster. I feel like this is going to be a ranged attacker, and I think they have some really cool ideas for how this Pokemon will work. Well, there you go. Thank you very much. Did I call out the name there? Oh boy, I hope I did. Let me pull that back up in case I didn't. Hold on. Did I say? Oh yeah, Aria. Okay, cool. Thank you all for submitting these to the wishes and theories section. I know you don't do it thinking they'll be in a video, but I'd like to get more in these videos because I think they're really cool. Something to notice from these, and I've said this with the video previously, you are going to see moves like this or Pokemon like this in the game. And I think it's really cool that people are sort of crafting these because you're going to see something very similar. Let me know which one from today's video is your favorite. Thank you. I love you. Happy Halloween. Goodbye.